Hello everyone, my name is Ravindra and I welcome you to my YouTube channel. This is a core video to before starting fundamentals of the Copilot Studio. Okay, we should know what is conversational AI, what is large language models, what is RGA. Okay, before we start to dive into Copilot Studio because this is the foundation of AI agents in the all the industries. Okay, let's jump and start. So all things are connected. Okay, conversational AI is connected to ALMs. Okay, ALM is connected to RAG model and the agents, and by combining these all four activities our Copilot Studio is built. So let's go in the more details. So what is conversational AI? Refers to a system that can understand, process, respond to human language text. So means simply whatever we giving to the any bot, okay, that we are getting back, okay, response in the text language, that is called as conversational AI in simply. Let's think a chatbot that works on a website that will figure it out what you want to do. So this is one of the example of our conversational AI simple. That will simply gives answers to your questions from the predefined knowledge. Now let's see what is large language models. It is also called as the brain of our chatbot. At the core, most of conversational AI systems are the large language models. Neural networks train on a massive amount of text. Those modules learn statistical patterns of language so they can generate coherent sentences, answers questions. They can also brainstorm ideas or even create content. Some large language models having some key points, okay, that is training on the data. It learns on the terabytes of text like web pages, books, poems, articles. This is words knowledge, okay, that is available on the internet. That is all the data. This mostly large language models are trained. Then tokenization. Each language model having the tokenization. The text is broken into a smaller parts. Okay, let's assume you have the one word. Okay, let's take the brain behind modern chat. Okay, so this is and one text. So that is break into a smaller sentence, okay, behind modern, like this is one that is repetitive sentences, okay, that is breaks, and in the 01 language it is built in the all the sentences. So that how much tokenization means how much smaller part and bigger part it can handle, that is called as tokenization. The text broken into smaller units or the subwords we can say as tokenization in this, yeah, in the large language model. Context window. So each ALM has limit on how many tokens it can see at once. Beyond that limit, prior tokens get shortened. Means context video, you can assume that, okay. So every time whenever we go on the any language model, in this example we take the chat GPT, and you type first prompt, okay, gives to GPT, then relevant prompt you gives to the second prompt on the same chat. So on the previous chat, okay, what you have written, it understand that sentence context, okay. So that is called as context window. If you go to the new chat, that previous context window will end, okay, and you will go to the newer one. So that amount, okay, means how much text it can handle, that is called as context window. Yeah. Now then we have the prompting. So this is a new skill. You interact with the ALM models by sending it a prompt like a question or the request or the block of text. The better your prompt, the more focused, more relevant response you will get from the ALM models. So let's understand what is RAG. Okay, it stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. Okay, so when ALMs rely solely on static training data, if you go back in 2022 or 2021 when the GPT was launched, okay, so whenever you ask the relevant question to it, like the today's question, so it is not able to answer. Why? Because at that time the RJ system was not implemented. Okay, so what is RJ? So when ALMs really source on the static training data, they might be hallucinate or become outdated. So RJ address this solution. Okay, so how it works, let's understand that. So you first users ask questions, okay, then let's take a question, what is the XYZ earnings of this company. So user asks this question. So then the second action will happen, retrieval step. The system queries a knowledge source, like all the knowledge that is available, documents, public websites, internal database or the SharePoint libraries in our case, okay, and find the relevant information. Then the third step comes augmentation. So this retrieves data, gets appended to the pre-appended before the sending the ALM model. So in this third step, what's happened? Whatever data, okay, that we just queries by using retrieval step, that is pre-appended to the our existing data, and then it is sending to the our large language model for generation of the response. So this actual response will generate here in the fourth step in the large language model, and it will get generate and response that is grounded in up to date data. Okay, now with RJ, your agent can call internal companies, Wikipedia, or whatever knowledge sources you are given. So it will retrieve one more time. Okay. And on the basis of that, it will generate retrieval step and send that for the augmentation, means appending of data. And then this data is sent for the generation to the your response. And by using this step, you always get a correct answer with up to date data. So let's understand what is conversational and autonomous agent. What is the difference between both of two? So in the context of Copilot Studio, the term agent can refer to multiple flavors of AI assistant. It's helpful to draw a new line. So conversational. So here the trigger point is user message. Okay, it requires a two-way dialogue that you should communicate with the agent. Okay, and the second one is anonymous agent. Okay, so it needs a trigger agent. You can say the power automate flow in simple language, so you will understand it more better. So then a conversational AI perceives the context that across multiple turns of a conversation, like back and forth. In the autonomous agent, it is planned. Okay, whatever data you use, that will repeat that and it will observe in simple words. And it uses the ALM model for the looping of your data to complete the task. In this pattern example, you can take the example of our VS Code agents, okay, that we use for the building of the website nowadays. So that is this action, it is performing by the anonymous agents to do that. Now, so this is best for Q&A and guided help, because it is just giving a question and answer formats, okay, not do much more on that. So autonomous agent is best for the multi-step workflows that we can automate, that we can do the much more tasks, okay, by using Power Automate Flow, sending calendar invites, manipulation of data in data work. These things we can do by using autonomous agents. Okay, here are some examples of conversational input AI. Okay, agent in Microsoft Teams that answers your HR policy questions, agent on public website that answers your questions about your products. And here are some examples for the autonomous agents, like agent that generate travel book flights for you, okay, sends an email confirmation as soon as your travel request is approved or the expense request, summarize and meeting, sends a meeting invite to you. Okay, so this is, we can say, an autonomous agent is do an activities as well. So this is the loop of our autonomous agent. Okay, it's adjust if needed automatically. It's whenever it triggers. Okay, whenever we use some trigger, like any records creating backend, sending a new email, receive a new email, creation invites, it having the predefined plan whatever you want. Okay, and then it's just going the loops. Yeah. Now we will understand the why we should use the Copilot Studio. Okay, so Copilot Studio is unified both conventional and autonomous scenarios under the one framework. It is a combination of both the frameworks, conversation plus autonomous agent. So it is advantages for us. Whatever we want, we can do both the things in the Copilot Studio. So it also having the visual agent designer that is best for the citizen developers. Okay, they can simply use drag and drop canvas to build the agents. They can deploy test agent very easily. Then we have the models. Okay, so we have the n number of models. We will see that OpenAI, Anthropic, custom models that you create in your org, so that they can also use. Then we have the knowledge. So use out-of-box integrations for the SharePoint, OneDrive, Dataverse, other public data so sets also we can use in the Copilot Studio. Then what tools we can use? Okay, We can create custom external APIs, okay, external actions we can perform. We can use the Power Automate, as well as we can use Office 365 tools in the Copilot Studio. Most of the tools are now available, like Power Automate Flow, then the Dataverse, then the loops. Okay, so these are available in the Copilot Studio. Multi-model support. Okay, so it is gives you the text as well as speech recognition benefits as well. Okay, and publishing is very easy. You can publish that on the multiple sources like Microsoft 365, Copilot, Teams, or other websites as well. So here is some of the examples of conversational agent and autonomous agent that we just discussed. So congrats, you learn in this video large language models, what is RJ, and what is the benefit of using Copilot Studio. In our next video, we will understand and directly jumping to the Copilot Studio fundamentals. Thank you, friends. Keep learning, keep growing, keep exploring.